What Newcastle United still need to do in the final week of the transfer window to ensure Premier League survival. Newcastle United's starting eye in their 1-0 win over Leeds United showed that plenty still needs doing as clubs head into the final week of the January transfer window. Kieran Trippier and Chris Wood, both signings made this January, started, but there remained a familiar look to the Tyneside club's side. And while they ultimately capitalized on an Island Meslier mistake to register a narrow victory over Leeds, more quality is evidently needed. The 40-point mark is usually considered safety in the Premier League, with only one club having been relegated with more than 40 points in the league's history, when West Ham were relegated with 42 in 2002-2003. However, this mark has only been reached once in the last decade by the club that finished in 17th place, Watford in 2016-17. Aston Villa survived by the skin of their teeth with just 35 points in 2019-20, but it was a close-run affair and one that the Magpies will wish to avoid. Meanwhile, the lowest points total a club have avoided being relegated is 34, achieved by West Bromwich Albion in 2004-05. In short, then, history tells us that Newcastle need to finish with more than 34 points in order to survive the drop. On current form, they average 0.71 points per game, good enough for a measly 27 points when extrapolated for the season. In their last 17 games, the Magpies need to find a minimum of 19 points. So, what else do they need to do this window? It is truly baffling that this issue has not yet been addressed in January. Understandably, the Magpies have lofty ideals following their cash injection, but their chase of Sven Botman and Diego Carlos have not yet borne fruit and threaten never to. Meanwhile, the likes of Nat Phillips remain on the transfer market. While not a world beater by any stretch of the imagination, he offers a Premier League experienced upgrade on current options for Eddie Howe. One if not two new defenders are needed before the deadline passes, with Newcastle still having conceded the second most goals in the top flight, with only Norwich having shipped more. Another attacker wouldn't go amiss either. A glance at Eddie Howe's options from the bench against Leeds sees Dwight Gale and Miguel Almiron as the only recognized attacking options to call upon. Gale, now 32 years old, last scored a Premier League goal in December 2020, while Almiron's brace against Southampton, the last time he found the net in the Premier League, came in February 2021. Hardly game-changing options. The romantic story would be for Callum Wilson to return from injury and propel Newcastle to safety, but the 29-year-old's injury record suggests that this cannot be a reliable option, while Chris Wood has found the net just 3 times in the Premier League this season. As the old saying goes, goals win games, and to that end, Newcastle need to add another forward to their ranks in order to be confident of survival. Links to Duvin Zapata make sense and would be a good signing despite the fact that he is now 30 years old. If it is not Zapata, however, Newcastle simply have to bring someone in. One position that could be a useful place to upgrade again is in central midfield. Joelinton has been reborn in the box-to-box role that Eddie Howe has used him in, but Joe Willock has struggled since his big money move from Arsenal in the summer, failing to replicate the form that made Newcastle splash out on him. Meanwhile, Jonjo Shelvey is a fabulous technician, but often hit and miss in the middle of the park. While another body would be useful to take some of the onus off the trio, it could be too much to ask this January with so much to address elsewhere unless loan moves for either Jesse Lingard or Del Alli materialize late on. Links to goalkeeper Bernd Leno and left-back Mitchell Bakker suggest that these are positions that Eddie Howe is looking to strengthen, but if push comes to shove, they should be able to get by. The goalkeeping situation is not pretty. Newcastle have a post-shot XG of -4.6, meaning that they have conceded 4.6 more goals than they should have as per the model, while their goalkeeper's save percentage stands at just 62%, the third worst in the top flight. But, should they strengthen defensively, the Magpies will see this have less of an effect, as whoever is between the posts will have fewer shots to save. Likewise, left-back would be a nice addition, but is far less